So you're building with AI. You know the options out there can be, well, pretty overwhelming. Which generative model is the right one for your project? That single choice can literally make or break your success. Today, we're going to cut through all that noise with a clear, powerful framework to help you make the right call. When you're building with AI, picking a model can feel like just another technical detail on a long checklist. But it is so much more than that. It's really the foundational strategic decision that's going to define your project's performance, its capabilities, and its entire future. Think of it this way. You are the architect of this new application. Now, you wouldn't start laying bricks without a solid blueprint, would you? Of course not. Your choice of AI model, that is your blueprint. So what does this blueprint actually look like? Well, it's built on 5 key pillars. First, understanding your role as the architect. Then, matching the model to the mission. After that, defining performance and power. Next, navigating those real-world constraints we all have. And finally, passing that crucial compliance checkpoint. Let's dive in. First up, the AI architect's choice. This is all about mindset. It's about recognizing that this one decision is absolutely essential for hitting your performance targets, delivering the capabilities you promised, and meeting critical compliance standards right from day one. So that leads us right into our second pillar, matching the model to the mission. This is all about choosing the right category of tool for the job. Before you can even think about picking a specific model, you have to understand the fundamental types out there and what each one is uniquely built to do. Now, this is where it gets really interesting because this slide breaks down the core specializations. You've got foundation models. Think of them as the base layer you build on top of. Then you have transformer-based models, LLMs, which are the absolute masters of text. Diffusion models, they're the artists creating these incredible images. And multimodal models are like the universal interpreters working across text, image, and audio. It's just simple logic, right? You wouldn't use a diffusion model that's designed for images to try and power a text-only chatbot. Okay, so with the right tool category in mind, our third pillar is defining performance and power. This is where we get specific. It's not just about what the model can do, but how well and, just as important, how fast it does it for your specific application. And this slide just perfectly illustrates the 2 key metrics of speed, latency and throughput. On one side, you have a real-time chatbot. It absolutely needs low latency. That means a super fast response time for every single question, so it feels interactive and real. But on the other side, a batch translation service needs high throughput. It needs to just chew through a massive volume of data as efficiently as possible. Your app's mission is going to tell you which one of these matters most. But beyond just raw speed, you have to check the model's specific skills. You got to ask yourself, does my app need to work in multiple languages? Do I need it to understand a picture and then describe it in text? Or is it super specialized for a task like writing code? You have to make sure the model has the exact capabilities your application demands. All right, now for pillar number 4, navigating real-world constraints. This is the big reality check. We've got our grand architectural plans, and now we need to make sure we can actually afford the materials and that the foundation can support the weight. We're talking budgets, hardware, and of course, scalability. And this chart really shows the fundamental trade-off that every single AI architect faces. You see those incredibly powerful, high-performance models? Yeah, they often demand a massive amount of computing power, which, you guessed it, translates directly into higher costs. On the other hand, more efficient models are a lot lighter on the budget, but might not have that same cutting-edge power. So the crucial point here is to think long-term. You need a model that not only fits your budget today, but also has a clear path to scale as your user base grows, without your costs just spiraling out of control. And finally, we arrive at our 5th pillar. And honestly, this one's a non-negotiable, the compliance checkpoint. This is all about security, privacy, and regulations. These are the essential building codes for any responsible AI project. Let's be crystal clear, data privacy and compliance are not optional features, they are core requirements. And this is especially true in sensitive industries like healthcare or finance, where the stakes are just incredibly high. For any responsible AI application, ignoring compliance is simply not an option. So let's just recap the entire framework. This quote really perfectly summarizes our whole architectural approach. The right model is one that meets performance requirements, has the right capabilities, and abides by compliance standards. A truly successful choice is a thoughtful balance of all 5 of the pillars we've just talked about. We've laid out the blueprint for you. It shifts the focus from just picking a technology to truly architecting a solution. So the only question left is, now that you have the framework, what will you architect?